Hello everybody, well welcome to William and Donal's movie review.
Hi guys, what film Donal are we going to interview today?
We went to see, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry, so we're just going to talk a little bit about it. William, what was your favourite parts of the movie?
Well, this was a great movie. Of course, it starred Adam Sandler and Kevin James. What I really liked was, I've got to say, the humour. The jokes are really funny, really side-splitting for me. I haven't laughed so much since Borat, so I've got to tell you, if you didn't like Borat, you might not like this movie. But as somebody like myself who loved Borat, I've got to give this movie...
It was a different type of humour.
Oh, it was a different type of humour, but brilliant humour. Sometimes it was the lowest common denominator. Don't take your children to this movie, but some brilliant scenes and some brilliant one-liners, weren't there?
Did you think that some of the humour though was maybe like feeding towards the stereotype, you had the gay stereotype and the Asian stereotype, and a lot of the humour was based around those stereotypes?
There were some brilliant stereotypes. Yes, there were stereotypes, but they played with the stereotypes. For instance, there was a son in it who was probably about 8 or 9 years old, extremely camp, very theatrical, very arty-farty, and there were some great scenes where he does the split, and he's camper than his sister, but they had stereotypes in it. But I think they did the stereotypes really well, and they certainly weren't insulting at all. And I think it handled the movie brilliantly. It wasn't really a social commentary as such, but I think, say with homosexuality, it might make people think twice about being homophobic, for instance, but it did it in a very humorous way.
What type of audience do you think is this movie good for?
I actually think women. Probably a few gay men who have a good sense of humour, not people who take it too seriously. They'll probably say, oh, it's stereotypes and all that, but people who've got a sense of humour, young women, I guess, a few kids, a few teens will absolutely love the movie. There are some extremely funny scenes, such as the blow-up doll, which most people will probably laugh at the lowest common denominator, and like the son himself, and there's some very good one-liners. Watch for the shower scene. There's an unexpected scene in it, but it is so funny.
And what do you think of the two main actors, Adam Sandler and Kevin James, in this movie?
I'm not a great fan of Adam Sandler, and I'm not actually familiar with Kevin James, but I found it hilarious. I thought they were very good in the movie. Adam Sandler, of course, plays very heterosexual characters, and in fact in this it's no different. He's very heterosexual, but they were hilarious, they were very funny, and some great gags.
And how many stars would you give this movie?
I would give it 3.5 out of 5.
Oh, very good. And what was your favourite part of the movie?
As I said, the shower scene. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but go and watch it. If you missed it in the cinemas, get it out when it comes on DVD. It's probably better as a DVD movie, and I can see it probably shown on a Saturday night at some point. I wouldn't recommend it for the kids. But if you're pretty open-minded, the kids might enjoy it. Just don't explain a couple of the jokes to them and just pray they don't ask you about them. But it's going to be shown, I reckon, Saturday evening sometime. Get it out on DVD, it's well worth it. Don't buy it, get it from your video rental shop. But if you want a night, you're feeling a bit down, it's raining outside, and you want a bit of hilarity, go and get it. Also, of course, some great cameo scenes, some people like Richard Chamberlain and, of course, Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
Those were pretty good, so watch out for those. And it's really quite a good mix of a movie. What would you rate it?
I'd give it 3.5 as well. Some fallbacks that I thought maybe was it did focus too much on the stereotypes, which were like you'd have the flaming gay homosexual guy, and there wasn't like that's all there was. Whereas everybody knows that the gay community is a wide spectrum of people. And then it also maybe did focus a lot on the Asian stereotype, which I mentioned earlier as well. Like you have the Japanese guy in it, but I do think it was a good movie overall, and yeah, 3.5 stars.
I mean, I totally agree with that. I think it was a very good movie, very funny. The humour for me was brilliant. I don't think it was exactly groundbreaking. It wasn't particularly pioneering. I mean, films of a similar theme where people basically try and fiddle the system, such as Strange Bedfellows in Australia was a similar movie. Just to briefly give you an idea of what it's about two straight men, one of whom recently lost his wife, and he wants to sort out his pension fund, and he realises the best way to get the pension is to marry his best friend in the fire service. So, but this type of thing has been done before, but I suppose the important thing is how you handle it.
But I think also, well, if that is the case in New York, I mean, it did bring it out, like it gave it a kind of a podium for like it brought it out into the open and now maybe people realise that, you know, that they should change a little bit, like, you know, if somebody wants to leave their pension to their kids and their partner has passed away, you know, maybe it's a good thing, this movie.
I don't say it's groundbreaking, but I think there's some good messages in it, and hopefully maybe in New York they can improve the pension laws, and I hope maybe a few people who may be a little bit more closed-minded or not so much exposed to homosexuality might perhaps think secondly about it.
So I think even though like it was a very, very good comedy, and I think we both acknowledged that, I think there maybe was a little bit of serious messages in it, so, you know, I think it was good.
Anything else you want to add?
No, that's it.
Well, stay with us for more movie reviews. Thanks guys, see you later.
See you, bye.